Hey everyone, I'm wygowarrior, aka Julie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a try-on and first impression review of the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I have this in the shade Too Fair Pale, and I'm going to put this to the test. I am 56 years old. I have some lovely dark circles, under eye wrinkles. I have some redness around my nose, hyperpigmentation, and I have a little bit of redness here because I plucked a few brow hairs. All right, let's start off with doing some swatches so you can see the shade Too Fair Pale next to some other high-end concealers. All right, here are the swatches, starting with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Next over we have from Tarte, this is the Creaseless Concealer. In the middle we have from ANASTASIA Beverly Hills, which is the Magic Touch Concealer. Fourth we have from Huda Beauty, this is the Overachiever Concealer. And last we have from Urban Decay, the Naked Quickie Multi-Use Concealer. This is what the packaging of the Charlotte Tilbury Concealer looks like. This retails for $33, and I picked this up at Sephora. It has a standard small or regular sized doe foot. I typically apply concealers tapping in with my finger and then blending in with a sponge. But today I'm going to do it both ways. My normal way with a sponge, and then I'm also going to apply some on the other side and use a brush. I'm going to start on one eye because I don't know if this will dry down quickly. I'm just going to put a little under my eyes, and then I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation and some redness around my nose. Let's start there and see how it goes. Just going to take my ring finger, gently tap it in, and then take a damp sponge and blend. I'm also going to take whatever's left on my finger and just gently press it into the top of my eyelids because I also have some redness and hyperpigmentation there. This here is just a sponge from, I want to say it's an e.l.f. sponge. Here are the claims for the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. It is a hydrating concealer with a medium, buildable coverage and 16 hours of wear. It will brighten, smooth, and lift the look of your eyes and face. Use it to conceal, correct, and contour for an instant face and eye lift effect. The concealer is infused with hydrating hyaluronic acid, pore refining niacinamide, brightening radiance boosting golden vitamin C, and vegan collagen to improve the look of your skin every time you wear it. All right, let's zoom in and do a comparison. No concealer. The shade match is perfection for me. Now I do have wrinkly under eyes, so it doesn't matter the brand or how good the concealer is, I will see some wrinkles and creasing, but what I'm looking for is a concealer that doesn't emphasize what I already have. I would say so far so good. Granted, it's only been under my eyes for about a minute. All right, I'm going to add some to the other side and use a brush, and let's see if there's any kind of difference. I also have the hyperpigmentation here, so I'm going to get that covered, and a little bit of redness where I plucked some eyebrow hairs. I'm going to take this brush here, which I believe is from Real Techniques. It's soft but a little dense, which I think will be perfect for blending out concealer. All right, let's zoom on in. You definitely get more coverage using a brush, but to me it's not pressed into the skin as nicely. I'm wondering if what would be best is a combination. First where you go in with a brush to get a little more product, and then finishing up with a sponge. There's definitely more coverage here. I'm just going to take whatever's remaining on the brush and just press it over on this side because there's definitely some darkness peeking through. I'm going to go off camera, do the rest of my makeup. I need to film a couple videos. Then I'll pop back and give my final impressions. And by that time, this will have sat on my face for at least an hour, if not 2 hours. And then we can take a look to see how well it stood up versus really sinking into my fine lines. All right, I'm back. It's been about an hour. I still have a few other videos to film, but I wanted to pop in, do a close-up, and let you see what I'm seeing. So definitely the side where I use the brush is giving much better coverage. This side over here where I went in with my finger and used a sponge has more creases and isn't looking so hot. Since I do have to film a couple other videos and I don't want to look so sad, I'm going to add more of that concealer and go in with the brush to try to even out both sides, because your girl here can't look cray-cray on film, or at least I try to avoid that. Now I will take the tip of my sponge and just kind of press in. I'll do the same on the other side. All right, looking a little better. I'll be back later once I have a full face of makeup on. All right, I am back, full face of makeup. It's been about 2.5 hours since I originally applied the concealer. As you can tell, I have gone a little ham on my blush. You'll understand there's another video where I'm trying on a palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and let's just say I dipped into every single shade. But we're here to talk about the concealer. All right, let's do one last close-up. So it has only been 2.5 hours. There is definitely a difference, at least that I notice. This side is slightly better. Well, it was, now it's worse. I don't know, they're both pretty bad. Again, I do get creasing. I wanted you to see firsthand what I'm seeing. I would never in real life look like this. I would take my finger or a sponge and press it in. So that's what I'm going to do now. And let's see if that concealer is fixable. Real world scenario where if you apply something in the morning and throughout the day it gets a little creasing, can you tap it or press it in so it looks better? I'm going to take the same damp sponge, which isn't quite as damp as it once was, but it still is a little damp. And I'm just going to press, and let's see what that does to the under eye. All right, that helped slightly. Let's do another zoom in. So that did help. So now for my final thoughts. I would say this concealer for someone with mature skin like me is okay. Is it the best concealer I've ever used? No. Is it bad? No. Is it one of the worst? Not even close. I would say this is average for me. But when I say average, when it comes to creasing, let's face it, I get creasing no matter what the product I try. It is less so than others. I would give it that. It did a nice job covering the dark circles. I will say it did a much better job using the brush than with a sponge. But to be fair, this may be one of those products where it's best to put it on and let it sit for 30 seconds and then go in with your finger and a sponge. I went in pretty much straight away, and I did notice it didn't have as much coverage, but a sponge will pick up or take away some of that coverage, so just keep that in mind. I do think the Too Fair Pale is a really good shade match for me. When it came to spot concealing, I think it did a good job. I would say this is a decent concealer for both under the eyes and spot concealing. But now I want to hear from you. Let me know, have you tried this concealer before? And if so, do you have dry skin, normal skin, or oily skin? And also, are you mature or over the age of 50 like I am, or are you younger? And if so, I want to know how it performed under your eyes, if you have creasing, and if it worked the same as it did for me, better or worse. All right, I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so by now, I would love if you would subscribe. For those who have, thank you so much. Remember to click that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. And if you could do me a huge favor, clicking that thumbs up really does help with my channel to grow. All right, thanks everyone.